What's good peoples? We just chill for a little second, let people do their thing. How y'all doing? It's your boy Seven. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday evening as we start to dig in and get into tonight's conversation. Just wanted to put in my little 7 cents on the whole thing. I got a couple people asking me what my views or opinions are on the dig, so I'm gonna go ahead and put out a couple say a couple words and put out a couple things to make sure that we get the word out. But hold on a second, let me say something. Where's my cellular device? Okay. So obviously this is gonna be cut when when it's reposted and all that. But while it's in the live and ain't nobody really in here right now, I can do all this fuckery right now. I hope everybody's doing good, having a good, safe, and sound Saturday. Hey, I love my alliterations. Shout out to the Kappas. They just had their Founders Day just passed. Shout out to them. Them brothers of Phi Nu Pi. Them brothers of Phi Nu Pi. Shout out to them brothers right there. Shout out to them. Let's see, man. Pull this up real quick. Okay. Let's go in here. Right there. Oh man, wife is upstairs hooking up some vittles. Ooh, it's smelling good. That's all I'm saying. It's smelling good right now. Man. So I will do my best to be quick with this. Not to be quick. I want to be thorough. I do want to be thorough when it comes to this whole thing with this this Katt Williams thing and all this stuff. So hopefully folks are feeling what your boy got to say and all that good humming. Oh wait, save that to here. Sure. And then at the same time, let me copy this. Yeah, there we go. Take that. Copy that. Bam. See, that's how it is when it's a one-man show, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it is with your one-man show. You gotta, you trying to do your thug thizzle, and it's a whole lot of moving parts. So, actually, I won't say it's one-man show, but shout out to my wife, always holding me down and giving me the leeway to even get all this stuff done. Honestly, to play around like this and to do all this stuff, knowing good and well we got other things to do and other things going on in our lives and things. So just the fact that she allows me or gives me the leeway, I'll say, to pursue this is dope on her part. So shout out to my wife for real, seriously. Boom, boom, boom. That should be it. Post that. It should be up, right? Let me make sure I'm up because it says that it's up, but I haven't looked at the link. So pardon me if I'm checking that out right now. Funk Soul Brother. So, and I did this today through StreamYard because I was thinking, well, maybe if the people who who sent me the inbox or some of the other people who would also, would be the type to do so, would want to hop on the live with me or whatever and have this discussion out with your boy. I mean, that would be dope. So that's why I decided to do this through StreamYard. So I apologize right now for the little goofy. Sorry, over here, little goofy logo in the corner. So I do my best not to do all that, but I wasn't paying for that. I'm gonna pay that remove. It didn't make no sense to pay $240 to have it just to have it removed when I don't even use StreamYard like that. Like we ain't even cool like that StreamYard. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. I digress. I digress. Please. But let's see. I'm still sending. I'm just sending out the word and making sure that people who feel like checking me out can check me out and all that good hummer. You know what I'm saying? So. Let's see what we got going on right now. There we go. Okay. See him up. See us up and moving. Let's share that. Copy that. Go on to where the people like to do it at for real. Pause. Let's see. Baby. That's wild. Sorry about that. I had an issue. Let's see. Is that gonna just put it in there? Hopefully. Yeah. Next. All right. Boom. Who can see it? Everybody can see this, baby. Everybody can see this. Everybody can comment. Quit playing. We on this. All right, we're gonna do it where we at. Here. As well as here. And I think that's it. Yeah, those are the two main places. So we'll do that, and that's it. All right. So we are good. I'll throw one last one out to X or Twitter or whatever the hell it's called these days. Let's see what we got. So now, first and foremost, I want to make sure I say to all the good people, turn this down because I know it's going to do something stupid. Okay. There we go. But yeah. So first and foremost, thank you all. Welcome to the Blackman Show. Make sure you please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell. Tell all you good people that we in here. The Black Man is coming, and I'm here to stay. You dig? So with that, I want to talk about why we're here on this Saturday evenings on the Lord's Day on Beyonce's and we're a little relaxed today. So if you all have yourselves a drink or two, excuse me, please indulge. Shout out to Shots by Miko for the custom cocktail. Again, shout out to my wife. So, excuse me. So, I mean, oh yeah. Sorry, got to get all the other stuff out of the way. So we also we're having a drive for our 250th subscriber. So again, please hit the subscribe button. That's why we're trying to push the thing. We're doing it for you. We're doing the whole show for you. We're doing all this for you, for y'all, for all the good peoples who wants to jump in, chime in, say some good, whatever you whop the bams and all that you dig. So that's what we're here for. Anyway, but so now that I think we have that out the way. Let's see the whole the show. That's right, and we also have our merch store at theblackmanshow.com. Check us out, theblackmanshow.com. Get yourself a shirt if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, I thank you. But all right, so all that's done, all that's said. Now. So I'm gonna just get into this thing with this Katt Williams interview that was on Club Shay, right? I hope everybody can hear me well. I hope I sound okay. Last I checked, the mic levels were fine. Okay. So first and foremost, why is this show called Club Shay? Why? Why? So okay, so let me back it. Okay, a little bit of information. In comedian Katt Williams goes to go on talk show Club Shay, former tight end, hosted by former tight end of the NFL, Shannon Sharpe. The name of the club is Club Shay. I'm sorry, it's called Club Shay. So that just sounds weird, especially when we get to some of the stuff that we're gonna get into a little bit later in the conversation. So just keep that in mind, right? I mean, and then like, okay, if you saw the interview, so I'm not gonna play any footage in this version. Like if I were to do this in a recorded version, I'd have like all the graphics and all that good stuff. You know how, hopefully y'all know how I do. If you don't, now you know. That's what I do. I put up the graphics and all that good stuff on the sides. But so to that end, I'll be just explaining things to the best of my ability in hopes that you all can get or conjure a picture in your mind of what took place. So all right. Wait, first of all, I think I wanted to my bad. Let me do one other thing I just thought about. I want to, because I feel like it's a little dry in here. I want to add some music for some ambiance. Hopefully I can bring that on and it doesn't trip when I play it, because it's original music made by actually not yours truly but my brother. So I have his copyright. So I think I'll be okay. But I don't want to ruin things by trying to figure out stuff at the last minute, right? I'm gonna try one good time. If I don't get it, then we're just gonna keep it moving. You know what? I could be a jerk and just do it like this because it's on my phone too. It is, and I just have it. I'm gonna be real bogus and just have it play it in the background. It's gonna play it. Hopefully, it plays through the mic, and if it doesn't, whatever. We real ghetto. I'm sorry, I'm Inglewood, Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I'm from somewhere in there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm from the South Side. So forgive me if I do things a little jerry rigged out here in these streets, out here in these YouTube streets. But let me see. Because I like having a little bit of music. That's just. I mean, I was raised in a musical family. We did the music thing a lot, you know what I'm saying? We had several pianos in the house, several pianos, several keyboards, and all that good humming in the crib. So yeah, it's just a thing for me to have some sort of music on me a lot. All right. Now here we go. I got stuff here now. I want to go to the song. The song is called 7. So hopefully I can find it. Here we go. Boom, right here. All right. So I'm gonna let this disconnect thing for the, you dig? Oh, but you know what? I just thought about it. It's probably gonna have me. Yeah. Let me see what it does. Oh. Boom. There we go. Hopefully y'all can hear that. I want to go to the player so I can make sure that it's like just on repeat. Here we go. Boom. All right. Now maybe you all can hear that. If not, at least I can. And now I got a little vibe going. All right. Feeling good. Okay. So getting back into the show, right? Now, so there's this whole the Club Shay, Katt Williams, comedian, known for stand-up and stage, screen, writing, rapping, playing sports, all that. Well-known man. Does all that stuff, goes on the Club Shay, does an interview, very explosive interview. I'm wondering, during the interview, why was, again, Club Shay. But why was it that what would prompt the man? So at one point, if you all saw the interview, at one point, Shannon Sharpe at one point had his leg up. Just just sit, you're sitting right across from, I'm sitting right across from another man. What would prompt me to sit and all of a sudden just had my leg cocked up like I don't know what that's about. What I mean, like I kind of wonder. Like, was Shannon having some sort of remorse that he wasn't cast as Damon in Friday After Next? Like, because he was sitting there in the super skin tightest of outfits. I mean, whatever, be as skin tight as you want to be. But he was in a super skin tight outfit, and he was sitting there in front of this little bitty man with his leg up like that. I'm just saying that just seemed kind of weird to me, right? It just seemed kind of weird. So, but during the interview, Katt Williams got into quite a few different subject matter, as it will. Some of those things, including talking about some of the comedians. And actually, matter of fact, I'll just get into what he said, and then we'll just kind of do the whole thing back and forth. I'll give you the subject, give you what he said, give a little background as best that I know it, and then we'll kind of decide as a group, is it fact or cap? So, all right. So, talk about Cedric the Entertainer. He talked about several comedians. He's talked about Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey. I want to get on those first. I'm not going to go necessarily in order, so bear with me. But he did the whole thing talking about Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer. Steve got, some of the explosive stuff that he said that just kind of stood out to me was about Steve and how he didn't have any hair. He had a hairpiece on, and he got eaten up at this comic battle that he had against Katt Williams. And then he talked about how Cedric the Entertainer, who actually is a cousin, I guess, of mine by marriage, but not that matters. We don't know each other, so none of that matters. But anyway, with Cedric the Entertainer and how he basically doesn't write jokes and how he steals jokes. And to that, I will say I honestly feel like, now, first of all, I think both of those are true, first and foremost. So I'll just already say that I think it's fact. Only in the sense that we know that Steve Harvey was, and there have been stories about Steve Harvey being kind of vindictive and spiteful in the business and all that good stuff. Check out Corey Holcomb. Any of Corey Holcomb's breakdowns. Anytime he talks about Steve Harvey, he talks about that one time when Steve Harvey was doing a show. Corey Holcomb was doing a show with Steve Harvey, and he basically reduced his time once he realized Corey Holcomb was going to be on the bill. Well, who knows why he did it? But he said that at some point Steve Harvey reduced his time to only 5 minutes on stage. So there's that. But I'll say that in regards to Steve and his hair, when I was a shorty, I watched Showtime at the Apollo, and I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, or if maybe it was a gag or something. But there was one point when he turned around when somebody was doing the rub the log thing for good luck, pause. He had this big ass gash in the back of his head, like you could see his hair, and it looked like he was a monk. He looked like a fried monk. I remember that. I was like, 9, 10 years old. I remember that clear as day. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that. And ever since then, I was like, oh, he's bald. He's bald. He wears a wig. Everybody knows that he wears a wig. So there's that. And then there's Cedric the Entertainer and his whole thing with stealing jokes. Now, I'll just say personally, I don't like Cedric the Entertainer's comedy. Like his comedy always came across as hacky to me. Like it seemed like when he did the so let's give some background. He did do the joke stealing with Katt Williams' actual joke. I think it was a joke theft when he was at the end of Kings of Comedy, and he did the whole thing of driving in a spaceship and how black people driving a spaceship, turn the radio down and gotta do all this and all that. Katt Williams basically did that same joke 2 years earlier in Comic View, right? So in that sense, in both of those counts, I would say if it's fact or cap, I think it's fact. I think it's a fact so far on that sense. Now, then there was the whole the Ricky Smiley thing, right? So now I did Ricky Smiley separately, pause, because I wanted to just outline some things, because Ricky Smiley in this sense, it's a movie deal, right? and he was talking about how, excuse me, when he and Ricky Smiley were both in the movie Friday After Next, that Ricky Smiley initially was the one who was cast as Money Mike. Katt Williams is like, how dare you? There's no possible way. Get the hell out of here. There's no way. What are you talking about? You know, all that stuff. So, but it seemed like there may have been some truth to it, because then Ice Cube came on to the interwebs to kind of clear the air. He said, actually, it is true that Ricky Smiley did hold the position of Money Mike initially, because he auditioned for the role first and he got it. Okay, cool. So since he got it, or since he had it, for him, as far as he knew, he was like, yeah, I got the part. This is what it's going to be. Now, if you also look at Ricky Smiley, because I did a little research and I ain't had nothing better to do, I guess, right? But if you look at Ricky Smiley's response to the whole Katt Williams interview, Ricky Smiley says that he was going to be a crackhead. He was going to be a crackhead. Like, first of all, like, he and Q both agreed that initially the Money Mike role was a very small role. And then he said that the pimp was going to be a crackhead pimp. And then he said, well, then he became Santa Claus and he was a crackhead Santa Claus. So what that says to me is that regardless of how he was going to be in the movie, he was going to be in the movie, but regardless of what he was going to do in the movie, Ice Cube and him saw him as a crackhead. So that's all it was to that. So I think that's the part that's kind of missing. He was going to be a crackhead regardless of what it was. So it makes sense that when Katt Williams came on, he did his whole thing, blew the part out the water, expanded the role to the point where basically him, Katie Albert, and Terry Crews were their own B segment or B story of the movie. Even to the extent that they were having their own rehearsals and all that to themselves, just to make sure that they were all kind of in one accord. So, so with regard to what Ricky was saying and what Katt was saying, I say that, well, I think they're both right. You know what I'm saying? So I think Ricky didn't want to kind of admit as much that, well, he said it. He did say he was going to be a crackhead, but I don't think I don't even say admit. I don't think Ricky even sees the fact that that's how they saw him. Like in his speaking or talking to the whole interview and all that stuff, he basically said that, he doesn't feel like, or he just thought he was just gonna be the crackhead pimp, the crackhead. Like, I ain't never seen no pimp as a crackhead, first of all, but and I'm from Chicago and I've seen a lot of pimps. I ain't never seen no pimp as a crackhead, but I'm sure it was out there because crack, pimps was doing heroin, so why not do crack, right? Whatever. I digress. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? And so in Ricky Smiley's defense, though, he did he did go on and say, like, however it goes, he apologized. He didn't want to have any beef with anybody. He's going through a lot right now. In January, actually last year, is when he lost his son. So he's like, I don't even like wintertime. I'm going through a winter depression right now. Anytime winter comes around, I get depressed. So, he's got his whole thing going on. So it almost feels bad that Katt kind of shot the man when he was kind of going through, or fired shots at the man when this is the case. Now, I won't say it seemed like Katt was doing it maliciously. I think he was just setting the record straight, to be quite honest, at least in this sense. We'll get into some of the other stuff that he said in the look. But I'm just saying, at least in this sense, I felt like he was, I felt like he was, just coming out to make sure that when Ricky Smiley said, yeah, I was originally Money Mike, Katt Williams provided his context. And then when Q provided a third context, I think when you put it all together, it says that, hey, Ricky Smiley was supposed to be the guy. He was going to be a crackhead. Q didn't think much of it beyond him being a crackhead. And that was kind of funny that he saw him as. Katt Williams comes in, auditions for the part, blows the part out the water, to the point where Ricky Smiley's relegated to being a crackhead of a different type. And now Money Mike has a bigger role, honestly, because if you look back, I ain't gonna, no offense to Ricky Smiley, but I think that Money Mike role is kind of iconic, especially when you look at the fact that this is this man's first role, and he's, you know what I'm saying, he blew it out the water. First role, it's iconic. Like you think of that, you think of all the lines he said. I am a boy, damn. You know what I'm saying? You think of all of that stuff that he said in the movie. Like all the quotables generally came from him. I can't think of, no offense, but I can't think of any quotables from the crackhead, the crackhead Santa Claus. Yeah. Now, so going into some of the other claims that were made by Mr. Williams, reading, right? Man said he reads 3,000 books a year. Right? I'm sorry. He read. I apologize. I know he's busy right now. He has read. Excuse me. He has read 3,000 books a year between the ages, I believe he said, between 8 and 12. I mean, all nonfiction. You know, completely no daydreams, no fantasies, no choose your own adventures. You know, no green eggs, just ham. You know what I'm saying? So if my math is correct, that means that he was doing over 8 books a day. Over 8 books a day. He was reading over 8 books a day. And let's just say he took some days off. Because, you know, sometimes you want to take your weekends off or whatever. That would mean, if you do the math, 3,000 divided by, you got to take the 120 minus, okay. So he would be doing almost 12 books a day. He was reading almost 12 books a day. Again, not counting Saturday and Sunday. If he just read the 5 days, you know what I'm saying? Monday through Friday. He was reading 12 books a day for 4 years straight. I just think, I don't know. I've met a lot of 8-year-olds, and I mean like the genius ones, and I even they didn't read like that. Maybe he's on a whole different level. See, because here's the thing: sometimes when people get onto these platforms and things, and especially in today's age, is like a lot of people like to act like they've never had a mistake, they've never had a falling or whatever. And I'm not saying that he's like that, because he does talk about his arrest. He talks about going to jail and all that. So I'll give him that. But in the same sense, he also says, he also tries to me, he seems like he carries this air of infallibility, as if like, there is no way I could have fallen, because I am the greatest, and you did not know that. Why didn't they know that? Everybody knows that I'm the best. Why don't you know that I'm the best one that's out here just doing it? I am always like that. That's just kind of how he seemed to carry himself, and I'm just like, I don't know, bro. 12,000 bucks. Come on, man. So, fact of Cap, I'm gonna say Cap on the book. I'm gonna say Cap on the books, because like one thing because here's the thing. One thing I love about lies, right? Is that they are hard to verify. Or I should say, lies like this are very hard to verify. So for people like me, you know what I'm saying, when I run across, you know, these sorts of people who claim to have these high voltage ass positions and with these obscure ass points, you know, where they kicked all sorts of ass, but it was out there at grandma's crib where nobody lived, you know, them sort of stories and all that stuff. Personally, I just look at the actions. Do the actions match the statements? That's all I try to do. Like, because I hugely believe that, you know, the great comedians are some of the smartest people around. So without a doubt, I think they're able to they have this ability to look at reality and then look at the hypocrisies of reality in such a way that they can present the follies of society or the follies of mankind to us in a way that we can say, these are funny things. These are ironic things. These are look at this. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what comedians do. And I get that. But do they need 12,000 books to get to that damn level? That's what I'm saying. Do they need 12,000 books? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Katt, look, if that's what you do, man, listen. Hey, shout out to your library and your library card, because I know that library card was putting in work. That's all I'm saying. But so that's what I'm gonna leave out. But next, hustling. Man said that he was hustling, making $2,000 a day. $2,000 a damn day, stealing radios and what have you. So after he read his 12 books, 8 to 12 books, he would also spend time making $2,000 a day stealing radios. You know, God bless you. If you was able to do that, you know what I'm saying, do your thing. But if we talking about fact of Katt, I'm gonna lean towards Katt. I mean, because listen, he said this was at 13. So this is right after. So I'm not bad. So now I think about it. This is after the book reading. So after the book reading, he was done reading all the books. Now he got all the knowledge. Now it's time to go steal radios and live on the streets and live in the park. But if you're living in the park and you're making $2,000 a day, do you understand that comes out to $720,000 a year, right? I mean, you're making $720,000 a year and you living in the park? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So and you know what? Just real quick, I'm gonna go back to another thing. When it comes to another joke that I was just thinking about that Cedric the Entertainer told, he told this joke about Bominicious, right? And it pissed me off because like I was mad as I didn't like Cedric the Entertainer and what he did in the Kings of Comedy, and I'm like, that's how you gonna end your stuff for somebody else's joke? Oh man, like when I was a shorty, I saw that and I was like, all right, whatever, bro. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know, time has passed and all that. He's doing a new special, and he does this, and he's telling this joke about Bominicious, and I'm like, so is this your thing? Is it like, do you just take old jokes that you think nobody has seen or heard or whatever? And you like, oh, I'm gonna take that one because Bominicious. Now, I don't know if it matters, but you know, I had a brother who was of the life in the world. I'll say that he was out there a little bit, right? And one of his favorite shows was Designing Women. Well, I love my brother, and sometimes I come home from school and he's watching Designing Women. I watch Designing Women with him, and I happen to see the story of Bominicious being told by Meshack Taylor, telling it to Delta Perk. I remember these people quite well because I watched the freaking show. You know what I'm saying? So it was just wild seeing Cedric telling this whole. I'm like, you telling the whole joke? Did you get a write off on this? Did you get a sign off on this? Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was like, I already was done with you when it came to Kings of Comedy. Then I was like, all right, now he fam, because the reason we're fam is because one of my relatives married into his family. So I'm like, all right, so now he's fam. Let me go ahead and give him a second chance to listen to one of his comedy specials. Check out the comedy specials. Bominicious joke, same joke that I heard 25 years earlier. So I'm like, you know what? All right, Sid. You can go ahead. You go ahead have a seat, bro. You go ahead have a seat. So anyway, so I just want to get that out there. Anyway, moving on. Other things Katt Williams has said. He's talked about Chris Tucker. Now, I just thought this was kind of interesting. The whole thing of how he said that he tried to make fun of how Michael Jackson calls Chris Tucker Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And the fact Like you're saying this on Club Shay just didn't hit you at all. You're saying you're on Club Shay and you tripping on somebody being called Christmas. Slow down. Slow down. Just slow down a little bit, Katt. I would just say. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Next thing that was said was the whole thing of Illuminati. So that he and that was a selection between him and Ludacris, and they were at the intersection, you see, and so so Luda was the selected to go into the Illuminati. I guess I don't know. So the way that Katt described it is, I guess they have a look quota they're going for. They were looking for a brown-skinned man with hair who smoked weed, who has sideburns that come out in a pork chop shape, and they can only take one. So between Katt Williams and Ludacris, they decided, oh damn, we gonna go ahead and pick Ludacris and give him $200 million and an ugly light-skinned woman that don't nobody ever gets to see. And then in his interviews, that's what Katt said. I'm not saying that. Luda, I don't even know what your wife looked like. Well, I guess I gives credence to what Katt was saying. But anyway, but I'll say, I think now I think I find it interesting. I find it interesting that Luda, in his response, so after Katt Williams made this thing about Ludacris, or said this thing about Ludacris comes back with a verse, just with a verse. When the last time Luda dropped the album? Luda he came out with his Illuminati verse, saying he wasn't a part of Illuminati, but like, and I like how Charleston White basically said, he was like, he said something along the lines like, so somebody call you out. He's like, listen, if somebody called me out, I'm gonna call them up and be like, hey man, what the F you talking about? Walk the band. We're gonna get it, talk this out, square this up. However it needs to go, we're gonna get it settled. However, all you did was come out with a ditty. You came out with a show too. So I don't know if that solidifies Katt's point or not. So as far as his statement of Ludacris, well, him going to Illuminati versus Ludacris going to Illuminati because of their selection standards, brown skin, hair, and weed and pork chops. I don't know. As far as factor Cap, I don't know. I'm gonna throw that one up in there. I'm gonna throw it up in there because I really don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how to think about it. It just seems like bull. But anything that's related to the Illuminati in itself is supposed to seem like bull. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's bull in itself. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, and I'm kind of mad. I see people that's on here right now, but I ain't got nobody dropping no comments. I was hoping we was gonna get some comments, get some conversation going. It wasn't just gonna be your boy. But anyway, taking it further. So at the end of this, what do we make of this, right? The man is currently on tour. He's currently on tour. So if nothing else, this promotion is helping him to get more asses in the seats and more people, more eyeballs on him, so that he can do what he's been doing, saying this entire time. That's right. All right. One other thing. I just thought of another thing because he's always been going at Kevin Hart, so that's why I didn't kind of mention it. But yeah, so there was the Kevin Hart thing as well. He's gone in, on Kevin Hart, and so a lot of people recently have been posting in response. And I'll say this. A lot of things I'm saying right now, but I'll say this: there's a lot of people who were just getting, just like getting upset, either getting on the everything Katt Williams say is true, everything Katt Williams say is a lie. I can't believe that you like. People were just on different sides of this thing, and I thought that was really weird that people were just picking sides in itself. To me, that was just weird because this is entertainment at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. Let me get to my point. So he was talking about Kevin Hart to the extent that, he said that Kevin is a Hollywood plant. He said that he has never been funny, that nobody has ever seen that Kevin Hart has had a line of people outside waiting to see him. He has never left with a standing ovation. I have yet to see. Now, as far as all of the stuff that he has said about Kevin Hart and all the other comedians in general, basically saying they're not funny, I'll say it's been for me, it's been a minute since I've laughed at anything that Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, or Ricky Smiley has said themselves. Now, if it was just funny situation, sure, or funny thing that they were talking about, yeah. Steve Harvey always has funny moments on Family Feud, sure, but he wasn't doing stand-up. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm talking about. So as far as all that stuff goes, like, yeah, to me, I don't think these people are that funny. As far as Kevin Hart goes, I'll say he's funnier. I don't know about him being a Hollywood plant and all that, but I do think it's interesting when you look back at it and you look back, just realize, okay, he was a nobody, I won't say nobody, but he was someone that we hadn't heard of just yet. Then all of a sudden he's starring in a movie Soul Plane, and we're like, whoa, where did this movie come from? Who financed this? Where did it come from? And why is this guy? Who decided to say this guy needs to be the guy in front and in the forefront? You know what I'm saying? So I can see that causing some issues or causing people to ask questions about, his involvement, his placement, and how the hell he got there, considering he was somebody from the East Coast who a year later just blew up on Hollywood and had a damn movie all of us, out the blue. Whole bunch of, now don't get me wrong, a whole bunch of people that we knew who we knew before that were being put on or being put into this movie as well. But it was just weird that he was the one that was leading it when all these other people were already out. Snoop, I always forget the brother's name. The Nigerian brother from Chicago. I can't believe I forget his name. But that brother, Godfrey, yeah. But yeah, so like all these people, it was just interesting that how that happened. So in that sense, I don't know if I can say definitely that I believe that Kevin is a plant, but I'll say that it is interesting that in Hollywood that there always seems to be only one. There's only one black comedian that's hot at a time, and that let me know if y'all think that's interesting or if y'all notice this. Like, so when Eddie Murphy was hot, he was the hot black comedian. Before him, it was Richard Pryor. You know what I'm saying? Before Richard Pryor, it was Red Fox, I believe. And before Red Fox, I believe it was the brother who wore the dresses. I can't remember his name right now. I'm sorry. But and then after Eddie Murphy, going back the other way. So, but going back the other way after Eddie Murphy, well, I won't say after Eddie Murphy, but during the same time as Eddie Murphy, but kind of after Eddie Murphy was Bill Cosby. And I say after because Bill Cosby was more prevalent in that he was on TV every week, and Eddie Murphy was doing movies that were hot, but his movies didn't come out obviously every week. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of kept him out of our faces as much as Bill Cosby was just bam, bam, every week. Cosby Show. And then we was talking about it. Different world. We talking about it. We talking, you know what I'm saying? So we was talking about that a whole lot more than we're talking about Eddie Murphy. So, I just mean it in that sense. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like as far as is a lot of these, as far as Hollywood goes, there's only one comic at a time that's hot. Only one real comic that's hot. Like, so when Eddie Murphy was hot, there was Dave Chappelle was out. You know what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, they were out and they were building their thing, but they weren't doing movies. They weren't doing blockbuster features and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They weren't grabbing the media's attention as much. And it seems like the media only can have one black comedian that's at the forefront at a time for whatever reason. I don't know why that is, but that's how it seems that it is. And right now it seems like Kevin Hart is that guy. And I I'll be the first to say I don't like a lot of the stuff he does. You know what I'm saying? So however that goes, however Kevin Hart ends up playing this thing out, or however things ended up playing out for him, God bless him, and get your money. But I ain't watching. I'm not watching. And I do find it interesting, going back to when I was talking about how people would, people were selecting sides in this whole thing and getting emotional and stuff. I think it was interesting that so many people were playing this one clip of Kevin Hart, how he was on the Breakfast Club, talking about addressing earlier earlier accusations pointed at him from Katt Williams, where he basically was saying, like, why are you attacking Tiffany Haddish? Because Kevin Hart brought Tiffany Haddish out. He's like, why are you attacking my people? Why are you doing this? You the one who, you were supposed to be the guy. You were supposed to be the one, but you messed up. You didn't do this because of drugs, and you didn't do this because of drugs and all this stuff. And Katt, it was interesting because in Katt's interview, he was like, nobody has any record on any platform at any time that I missed anything or didn't do anything because of drugs. That is completely 100% a fallacy. So I thought that was kind of interesting, because that now shows that people are already trying to pick sides. None of us were in them damn rooms. You know what I'm saying? So let's just all slow down. And while we at it, talking about people who are holier than thou and picking sides and all this stuff, let's not forget the fact that Katt Williams also stole a joke. Katt Williams stole a joke. You know what I'm saying? Corey Holcomb, if you all check out anything from Corey Holcomb, he will hook you up, get you right. You may not like his delivery all the time, but he definitely speaks a lot of truth. But he pointed out that JB Smoove, comedian JB Smoove, and I remember that. There was that song. I know it sounds stupid. Whatever that song, and I just remember it was a Tonight's the Night. Redman had did a freestyle on it. It's a cold ass beat to me. And JB Smoove on Comic View came out to that song. He was like, "This song is so dope, man! You can see Superman fly to this shit." And he was like sitting there flying and doing all the whole thing. Man, this song's so dope. You can see handicapped people walking to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's like nipping with his stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I remember that. Then here comes Katt Williams. That song is my shit. Because it was Rick Ross hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Mr. DJ, do not play that again. Do not play that song again. Do not play it again. But you could, that's one of them songs you could just be hustling and what do you say, at McDonald's, and you working the fries. You're the last one. It's a late night shift, and you're the only one. You got to make sure you're working the window. And there you go. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. So he did the same joke. So nobody is without a stain in this sense. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, without the ubiquity of the internet, right, it's becoming more and more difficult to be original. You know what I'm saying? And especially when they can check your receipts as fast as you can make a purchase. So I think in that sense, it makes sense to be careful about the tickets that you're trying to sell. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you out there trying to sell wolf tickets, or trying to sell or purport yourself as a certain thing, just don't be surprised when somebody's like, hey, tapping you on the shoulder saying, hey, but what about this? But what about this? I remember scroll. I remember when you did this way back when. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful, be mindful, especially in this day and age. You can lie your way to the top, but make sure when you get there, you supposed to be there, or otherwise don't be surprised when somebody's escorting you out. Showing you the exit. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I don't know. As far as the whole thing, I'm just sitting back and enjoying the whole entertainment. I mean, look, just think about it. It's not even a week into 2024. It's not even a week into 2024, and everybody's already picking sides and mad and upset and trying to figure out who's right, who's wrong, and Katt Williams or Kevin Hart and all that. Relax, y'all. Relax. At this rate, y'all are just getting mad at celebrity news, and I'll say this. At this rate, you're not going to make it to whatever crazy shit they try to do to us come Black History Month, because you know they're going to do some crazy shit. They always do crazy shit. So hold off your energy, slow down. We still got Juneteenth coming. So once again, slow down, because we don't know what that's going to do, right? But with that said, I just leave it all to you, and I will ask you, what are your thoughts on Katt Williams and this whole interview thing and a whole fiasco and all the out the I was about to say outlash the I don't want to say lashing, but lashing out, I guess you could say, that other people have felt and the reverberations that have hit the newswaves. What do you guys think about any of this and all of this? I would love to know your thoughts in those comments down below. But before I ride out, I would like to leave you with a wonderful quote by one of my boys, Rio. He put this up earlier today on the Facebooks, and I just think this puts everything into perspective. He says, and I quote, let me turn off the music because this is serious business. But yeah, he says, "Isn't Katt Williams a comedian?" This is exactly how my boy Rio talks. "Comedians lie and tell the truth. Why aren't folks getting all riled up, foaming at the mouth at a comedian talking about other comedians like it's something new? Half of the comedians he's talking about have been cracking jokes on him, talking about him, lying on him. But what's wild is everyday Facebook folks swear they were on the road, in the dressing room, texting, behind movie scenes with these comedians, and knew what's going on. Why can't folks sit back and watch a comedian tell his story without getting emotionally involved and mad, like he did something personal to you? You dig? It's comedians at day's end, is it not? Now, when folks were complaining about Chris Rock jagging on Jada, folks were saying that that's what comedians do, right? Well, same thing here. This is just comedians being comedians. You dig? But nah, shout out to my boy Rio for that statement, and I believe that. And I apologies for the dramatics, but seriously, like at day's end, it's just comedians being comedians. It's comedy. Relax. He's got a tour that he's on right now. He's trying to post up and get himself as many views and eyeballs on himself as possible without having to go through the whole route of hopping on everybody's radio station, which actually he doesn't do that much, and he said as much in the interview. But hopping on somebody's radio station, what's good, H? Hopping on somebody's radio station and doing the whole promo thing. Hey guys, come on out and check me out. I'll be at Wild Funyuns for the next 3 nights, Saturday, 2 nights on Friday, and a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't got to do the I'm gonna be at Wild Funyuns promo. He just comes out one time, do the thing, Shannon Sharpe, and it just explodes. It explodes out to the whole damn world, and look at this. We still talking about it. So I'll leave that to you. I'll leave it up to you and leave that with everybody. Leave that with you all. You let me know what you think in the comments down below. But once again, this has been your boy 7. We are still sitting here at the Blackman Show. This has been the wonderful segment called Ask a Blackman. I thank you all for your questions. Make sure if you got some other questions or some other things you want to hit me up, if you're friends with me, then you know how to hit me up. Hit my inbox. But if you're just getting to know your boy, then hit me up at tbs@theblackmanshow.com or showtheblackman@gmail.com, and make sure you get yourself a shirt. Unfortunately, we don't have this style just yet. We're still working on it. But get yourself a shirt or a hoodie or some Blackman Show merch at theblackmanshow.com. I thank you all for checking in, joining the show, and spending your Saturday with your boy. But man, once again, shout out to Shots by Miko for the drinks. Y'all have yourselves a good one. Peace. And we out. Let me end this. Yes, in the stream.